All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Dren Hatamata, and this is S&G. It's going to be a podcast-style show that hopefully will work out better than the way this started. And then I've got my special guest, JorGoGo.
Sup? Sup, home slices?
If there's any problems happening, let us know now or whenever. I don't know. This is going to be hopefully a recurring show where I have guests and we just talk about whatever.
Just shits and giggles in general, which is what S&G stands for.
I guess without further ado, I guess we'll just kind of jump into it. We got a few topics we can talk about. I want to start by talking about your experience with YouTube.
I've been there for a good year, I think. It has to be a good year or two, and so far, like, I'm definitely not the best out there. I can say that without a doubt. But honestly, it helped me open up as a person, because I was pretty much like I don't want to get too deep, but I was pretty much a person who was constantly living behind a mask and like just unable to show my true self, even around my regular friends, even the regular people I hang out with. I don't know. I'm just too reserved. But YouTube, and ever since I met you guys, honestly, it opened me up. It just made me go, you know what? Fuck that. I want to be who I want to be. So I just began this platform, not just to, be like some kind of entertainer, which is kind of like a dream of mine ever since I was growing up, just entertaining people. I just like just do a whole bunch of skits and make people laugh. Not only that, but yeah, I just really want myself to be out there. I just want to open myself up. That was one of the main reasons, is because it just to help me become a better person and just help me be who I want to be.
Right.
And so far, honestly, I've come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure, Dren, I'm sure you've noticed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How do I put it? Like, I guess starting out when we first got together and our friends brought us together, we probably started out real meek, probably.
Yeah, like one of our friends introduced me to you through YouTube. Like she knew you did YouTube, and she checked out one of my videos, and I believe she was like, hey, check this guy out. He's local.
Yeah.
And that's how I met you guys.
Yeah, I remember when I saw your content, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And that was your Sonic retrospective. That was your first video.
God, I remember. Okay, I'm not too proud of it, just to say that right out the gate, but you got to admit, though, it was a good first impression.
Well, okay, so under first impressions, did you ever go around just looking through the beginnings of a bunch of different channels? Sort
of, but God, was I a closeted horny.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me just kind of set some perspective. My first video was just me with a piece of printout paper.
I remember watching that.
With my avatar on it, and I have 2 swords.
There were some neat swords, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just me holding a camera above a table, and it was just oh, okay, this is a thing. And I actually uploaded that directly from my phone, so it was really hard for me to make sure I start and stop it properly.
Yeah,
that was I probably did 7 takes before I finally got it right.
Oh, gotcha.
And yeah, there are some people who have had really, really they're using their phone and their hands was just them blog style, but bad. And that's their start, and then they get way up there and look at where I start from. I don't want to see it ever again.
It's one of the things with YouTubers, though, is one of their first intros has to be some really cringy dubstep song with some Minecraft block. I don't know. That's just the way I see it. A Minecraft grass block just rotating around, and then just cringy dubstep plays, and then here comes the channel name coming, just raising the opacity of the channel name, and then the opacity drops down, and then boom, channel video starts.
Right. Oh man.
Yes, I know how it works, you fuckos. You can't hide from me.
Oh man.
And don't be ashamed, I was there too.
I remember
even before JorGoGo.
What?
Even before JorGoGo. It's just an origin I don't want to discuss.
I remember
it wasn't really an origin to begin with. It was just, well, we just like playing video games.
Right. Yeah, like it was like when I explained your channel in my shameless advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Like the best way I could say is like right now, if we get later into the show, we have nothing to talk about. We'll talk about like video games or something. If we get on a particular topic, like a solid game, we'll just talk about that. And your show is like all of that talking. Take out the stuff we likely repeat ourselves with.
That's one of my biggest fears is repeating what a whole bunch of people said, which is why I don't want to get into Sonic 06 because what else can I add to it? What else can be said that hasn't been said already? I could go in depth as much as I want, but I can guarantee you 40 people said it already.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, repeating what other people say. I would say repeating yourself is the thing repeating myself is something I worry about. I don't want to have to sit there and say the same thing over and over again unless there's a particular point that I need to nail down hard.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of strict with my notes. And sometimes I improvise with my script, but a majority of the time I just go by a guideline that I set for myself.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think. I remember looking at your early content a while back, and like a lot of it blew my mind. Like, you know how like E-Raptor sequelitis was?
Yeah.
It reminded kind of a lot of it reminded me of that.
Oh, I'm honored.
Yeah. And like it was because like the movement, you don't use like just static characters or static poses.
Yeah, I'm reusing frames though. I'm really not that special.
Oh no, lots of people reuse frames. That's important. Like I've talked to a few animators. I mean, there's a bunch of frames that in the sequelitis that E-Raptor kept reusing just because it just works there.
Yeah.
In my case, since I don't draw, I have to have someone draw them for me. I have to keep reusing frames. But I really liked that when you made your videos, it's those poses, but you animate them a little bit. Like still the same pose, but you make them move.
It's like a slideshow almost.
Yeah.
Like you can obviously tell like there's one frame I use to okay, how do I explain? One particular frame, right? Mm-hmm. But I have this one frame that's the exact same, but it bends a little to the left or a little to the right. Depends on where the travel is going. What I do is I have that frame that bends a little, only lasting for one frame, so it adds that bouncy effect. Mm-hmm. But now that my videos are 60 FPS now, I do it in 2 frames now, so that it doesn't bounce in lightning speed now. You can see that bounce still.
I've been using I don't know how much it is as far as frames. It might be 2, but I do 2 clicks or whatever. 2 frames. The smallest increments. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that's the frames for my editing program, but it's all done in time as opposed to frames.
Okay.
I use 2 of them, so I make the same thing. Make sure you can see it. Normally, what I do is I'll take the corner and I'll shrink it just a little bit. Mainly because I have to work with what poses I have. Mm-hmm. And it kind of gives it it does do that little bit of a bounce. You know, it comes in at the bottom, then that's when the other frame comes in, and that one's low, and then it comes back up to what the aspect size is supposed to be.
I tried editing the image through the actual editing program itself, and it just looks like at least for Premiere Pro, it doesn't work. Like I tried it for the channel trailer. You can see that with the character Elliot, like the way she bounces. Sorry, Ellie. Sorry. The way she bounces, it just looks kind of weird. That's because I actually made her have that bouncy effect through Premiere Pro. I didn't actually have time to like draw another frame on Metabang Paint, which is what I usually do. So that's why I have a whole bunch of like 300 plus frames in my frames folder. So I don't know. I prefer doing it the hard way rather than like having to go back and like change that aspect ratio and having to go back to change the anchor point over and over again until I get it right. I'd rather just have it one and done. I could just turn on free transform in Metabang Paint, and I could just drag the top a little to the left, and then export, put it in Drive, boom, you got it.
Right. I remember one of the biggest things was your redesign.
Yeah.
That was really interesting. How was that for you?
Like one guy, and he actually commented. I think is right Nitro something, but he actually commented how my avatar was looking kind of simplistic and kind of gross, and I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. So because I tried to do like my own style, my own spin on the Cal Arts design, but I didn't want to be like over detailed because that's my character, that's me, you know. If I was to project my whole entire self into a cartoon, that would be it. Like I usually wear t-shirts, I wear shorts all the time, I wear sandals all the time. Yep, that's me, all right. So but it did look too similar to be a YouTube avatar, you know? And the way my arms are like super duper mega thick and fingers are like chubby little sausage fingers, you know? I kind of had to give it to him. Yeah, it did look kind of disgusting. So I decided, you know what? Yeah, I think it's time for a little redesign before it's too late.
So the old design, honestly, when I first saw it, my biggest thought of where a lot of that came from initially was when you came out with your Toe Jam and Earl game takes.
Oh, you think that's where the design came from?
Well, when I start comparing like the designs as far as like the proportions and stuff, that's what it made me think of.
Dude, okay, no joke. The people keep saying that my art style is very similar to Gorillaz, and I don't understand. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but where do y'all get this? I don't see it. I mean, it's a compliment, sure, but I don't see it. Like, I drew some kind of album not too long ago for it's not really an album, but it was like a cover. I don't know what they used it for. I think it's just a promotional material from my brother's band not too long ago. It was way, way back while I was still in school. And people keep saying like, oh, this looks like Gorillaz. This looks cool. Oh, Gorillaz. Neato. I'm like, where do y'all get this? What? I don't understand. But yeah, that's one. I'm thankful you brought that up too, because that's just something that boggles my mind. You know, even though they're dead ass one of my favorite bands of all time, besides Daft Punk and Green Day. I could go on about music, but and yeah. Other than that, I don't know where. If I had to say where my inspiration for my art style came from, it deadass have to be Fooly Cooly, Soul Eater. These are animes, by the way, really good. I recommend it. Yeah, Fooly Cooly, Soul Eater, Sonic for its aerodynamic poses. Got like every time you look at a render, it's like, God, I want to do that, but it just takes me so long. It takes me forever to make a perfect pose because, I don't know, creating aerodynamic poses are hard. But, yeah, that's where I mostly get my inspiration from is, like, anime and video games.
I feel like whenever you have any like, almost solid portraits that you make, like, of whatever, like, anything that's meant to be in the air definitely has like that sharper type angle to be seen that he's in the air.
Yeah, I've recently discovered the power of free transform. Like when you use, like, I knew about the tool, but on your sketches though, to make it, you can make your character stretch. You can have like the back leg, kind of zoom out a little, make it smaller to make it like he's zooming.
So I've done a little bit of drawing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done much. I haven't really practiced much at all. I did notice, like, I do have progression, which is interesting. I noticed later on, I start looking at proportions in relation to range.
Okay.
And it's really interesting because, if, like, just try making two arms. One is close to the camera and one is far away, and try and keep them looking like they belong on the same body.
Hey, Retro Show's here.
Oh, hey.
Hey, Big Retro Show, welcome.
What's going on?
We're just,
You caught me off guard.
Sorry.
I was like, whoa, what the hell?
Sorry, I had to bring up the news. Yeah, he's here. Welcome. We're glad you're here. We're just talking about, like, how we came to our channels and we were just talking about our art styles. So how you doing, Big Retro Show? How you doing? How's everything? What's good? But what were you saying about your
So it was really interesting trying to learn how to do the ratio of how small this side needs to be if it's far away versus how big this needs to be when it's close.
That's always an issue with me, like the angle of like perspective, because that's always like a big thing with me. I always emphasize like which part of the body is closer, which ones isn't. And I have people sometimes telling me, yeah, your hand is like super duper big, and this one is super duper tiny.
I can see that. That's really hard to do.
Honestly, I just use free transform now. Like, I use Metabang Paint doesn't really offer like a grid, perspective wise. So what I have to do, I have to cheat. I trace a grid, and then I use free transform to make my own perspective guide. So that way I can make poses more accurately, which is probably what you've seen in my most recent fan art I just showed you not too long ago.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, it definitely, because like with you coming onto YouTube as someone who draws a lot, and even though it's pose by pose, animation is still animation as far as I'm concerned, and I do consider what you do animation, even if it's not as heavy as someone who does everything frame by frame. And I think that's still really something to appreciate, because for one thing, you don't have to take quite as long as people who do it frame for frame. And art styles are art styles. Like, the way you do it, sometimes you don't have control over. That's just how you do it, and that's what you get satisfied with.
Drawing stuff is super challenging. Yes, it is. You are right. Even with someone like myself, it takes a while to get to where I really want it. So, trust me, it can be difficult.
It's really funny because I was thoroughly impressed when I saw how much actual animation was on your channel, and from the beginning, like I was like, good lord, how long did this guy spend on this? And like to find out way later that it takes you like in a few cases it only took you a week, and you still had a whole bunch of new frames, a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm like, when do you sleep?
That is a good question for a good 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. Hey Nathan, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? We were just talking about art styles and how it affects our channels. Yeah. But honestly, back to what you were saying about animation, I don't consider myself an animator whatsoever.
I know.
Because dead ass people like people see my videos and like, oh, you do animation, huh?
Oh, so, yeah, I know exactly.
I get the request to like do like dead ass skits, like these expert Disney style like animations. Like,
oh god,
I don't fucking do that. What I do is just I just move layers back and forth, and I just draw them in Metabank Paint. If I were to do animation, I would have to do it the old-fashioned, like the old Disney style fashion way. And I don't have time for that. I draw on my breaks. That's pretty much it.
What about when what about like it's like some of the old Game Grumps animated? You know how like a lot of them were just like they stayed in whatever pose until another pose was needed.
Yeah,
like that. Like when I think of animation, I look at that a lot.
but his like he does actual animation. Like I don't see
I know,
the same pose. Like I see most of his poses like maybe twice a video, and that's it. Like, and he does skits all the time.
Big retro shows like you're totally an animator. You're just a closet animator.
Yeah, I like to believe that, but until I get an actual animation program, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But I don't know. I just don't have the ability to call myself an animator, like an actual. Like,
I mean, I can see why in both cases, but one of the other reasons why I'm totally cool with you being like, dude, I'm not an animator, is because if someone tries to commission you, and I actually asked someone, because I was watching another live stream with a guy named Cirrus the Skeptic.
Oh my god, I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks when he said that.
And so I was like, dude, there's a section that was really funny, and I was like, dude, can we get an animated, Cirrus animated? And like, there's an animator that YouTuber uses, or not an animator, but a artist that YouTuber uses. And I commissioned him for a thing because I thought his art was really cool. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And like he was like, please man, don't tempt me. I already have so much to do. And I was like, and I shouldn't have said this, but I was like, listen, I have monetary power. I might be able to fund it. Don't tempt me, haha. And then he messaged me later, and I was kind of expecting it because I really wanted it to happen. And we got talking. He's like, okay, let's see what bits we want to snip up. And he's like, yeah, I think I know what I'd want to do. That would be really funny. I was like, okay, cool. And then we got to, because he knows how pricing works for animation and drawing. Mm-hmm. Because like the commission he did for me was $40.
Okay, not bad.
For an extra $20, he could have given me like various mouths and eyes so I could animate a face, which is pretty neat. That's cool. And when he got to the animation, the animation thought, we were like, oh yeah, what about the early Game Grumps style where like it's just pose to pose when needed? And it's like, yeah, that would definitely be a lot easier.
Yeah.
And then when we got to the price ended up being, at a rough estimate for a 10-minute animation, was about $1,800.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now that's a rough estimate. It may end up being less or being more depending on what happened. And under the circumstances, having know what I know now, especially thanks to you, I'm like, you know what? I don't have that kind of money, but that's totally reasonable. Don't feel bad about asking for that much money for something like this.
Raise your prices.
Yeah.
To all the artists out there, raise your damn prices. You're worth it.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are.
And I hate the idea of someone undercutting that. You really, I remember, I probably need to go back onto the description of your shameless advertising that I made for you, so I can make sure that says the $3 thing is redacted. Because that was back then.
Dude, I was so desperate just to get some people like just coming in, like, hey, just to notice my art. I was just desperate. I'm just gonna put it out there. I was like, hey, at $3 a piece, my art's cool, isn't it? Hey guys. And I'm totally not desperate whatsoever. This was just me starting out, but you notice like I started like upping my prices up and time and again, and I'm pretty happy with the $25 mark. Yeah, which is probably you notice on my recent commission sheet.
Yeah,
and you probably well, no, it's pretty much anything like a full body or a bust.
Yeah,
I don't really limit myself on that, but I just for like a simple background's free too.
No, the biggest thing that you have as far as that goes is if it's simple, you'll kind of work with people, I've noticed. But when it comes to most of what it has to do is if it's more people.
Yeah.
Like more people. Like, what did you say? Like, it was like extra $10 per person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If there's another person gonna be in it, that's an extra $10 EOs.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, despite it technically being a relatively short amount of time when you're talking about like views and subscribers and stuff like that, because YouTube is a freaking beast to have to deal with.
Yeah. It's a beast regardless, but it might be a terrible one if you're not careful.
Yeah, like when it comes to that, like, to me, when you started off, it came off as like, dude, you know YouTube already. That's how it came off to me, because like that was a gem that I saw.
Honestly, it's just Premiere Pro being easy on me. Like, I knew how it worked right out the gate.
Well, yeah,
maybe it was because my experience with like other Adobe programs like Dreamweaver or Photoshop. Like, I took a class for this, by the way. I took
I know that.
Yeah, back at high school. Yeah, it was in high school. I signed up for I think it was like a multimedia class. We did Photoshop. Well, we made websites in Dreamweaver. I knew how to code to an extent, and I made my own magazine covers, and it was a lot of fun. But maybe that's one of the reasons why I know so much about Premiere Pro, is because my experience with those programs, along with art programs I already knew, like I told you a second ago, was Sketchbook. So I automatically know how layers work. I know that you have to have multiple layers, and you can move them around however you please.
Right.
Like, I'm not computer spazzy, but I have a general idea of, like, I catch on easy.
Right.
Basically.
Real quick, I just wanted to throw this out. So for anyone who's still there, I am definitely willing to have people on this show. I'm using OBS for the stream. And I'll definitely be willing to have other people on the show. This is a show just to talk about whatever, preferably whatever the guest wants to talk about.
SG is shits and giggles.
Yeah. Definitely want to have more people. I'll probably have some of the local people around us. Like, JorGoGo is actually here right now in the room.
In the flesh.
Like,
you can't see my flesh, but I'm here in the flesh.
Actually, that's so funny. You know, with the experiences we've had, a lot of people were like, kind of like, do you know JorGoGo? I've had that experience.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh
yes.
my! Oh. Who?
Yes.
Who?
Lauren Draws was one of them. Like, you know JorGoGo in person? That's so awesome. And I'm like, oh, he's gonna. Like, your heart's melting, isn't it?
It's melting. I'm honored. Thank you. Lauren Draws, if you're ever watching this, thank you. I am honored.
It was like, it was so adorable. It was like, yeah, totally. And like, also, Lauren Draws, I really appreciate the I don't know the lingo, the art lingo, because she made that. I did commission it.
And I saw you still have that profile picture of hers up.
Yeah, it should be on Twitter. Right?
Yeah, it's on Twitter. There it is, yeah, at the bottom.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I still got Lauren Draws because I really like it. It was a lot of fun. She has a really interesting art style. But yeah, definitely, it was a really interesting experience. Just to hear that from someone else.
Oh man!
and then there's like the guilty by association part.
I feel so famous, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm just a guy who records it and just yells on a microphone in his free time.
That's what we all are.
Pretty much.
I want you to understand that this is a lot of people's experience. Apparently, like, this is the starting low, and like, well, because anything that's like someone recognizes or someone compliments is like the biggest thing in the world. Like, if someone like looks at your video and like if they share it, that's a huge thing.
Yeah, it really is, honestly.
But YouTube's a beast. Like, the experience on YouTube's different for everyone, but everyone's fighting YouTube.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like, you know, as you've gained experience, how has that been? Like, trying to learn how YouTube works.
Experience as in like just
me
just uploading and
not just the video making aspect, but when you get to the YouTube side of things, like the actual other side, after it's uploaded, you have to try and do. You have more to do than just make the video and upload it. That's what we always have to do. And there's more to it. We gotta try and get a good description. Gotta make sure we have all the information we need. We have to put a zillion tags just to make sure some of them catch something.
Yeah.
If you have TubeBuddy, sponsor us.
Not desperate, totally.
Yeah. TubeBuddy can show you like other people's tags and a little bit of their analytics.
Yeah, I love that. Like I've noticed, like watching other people's stuff, and I'm like, I can see your shit.
No, and so it seems like most people do not give a crap about the SEO scores, despite that it's supposed to be really helpful.
Really? Like
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, like my SEO score for most of my videos seems to be like 60 or 40.
I haven't looked at mine. I need to check that.
soon. I hate how pretentious this sounds, but I always like to see my video on the other side.
Oh yeah.
At least once, like in actual format, not just on my on the YouTube analytics pages or whatever. Just so that way I can see, okay, this is what my viewer is actually seeing.
Sometimes I watch some of my videos on my PlayStation just to see how the sound works, and like on my big TV, and I'm like, do I need to raise the volume here, or like why is this look pixelated in some areas? You know?
What's wrong here?
A lot of things.
I definitely have to say one of the biggest problems I had. So I started out with Wondershow Filmora was my editing program.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally figured out how to make game videos, the problem I had was, for some reason, everything was fuzzy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I hated it. I mean, it was Super Nintendo, so like it rounds everything out. It's not that bad, but it's still kind of like.
Was it from like a game capture?
No. The program I was using had to play the game had an internal capture, and with that internal capture, I don't know. It would play well once I got it properly captured and everything. It'd be fine.
Yeah.
But when I did in the editor, it was like something messed up with the aspect ratio or something like that. I don't know. And like once it got to the YouTube side, it would be fuzzy.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like that's mostly relevant on my regular Xbox and PS2 games. I can see like where it gets fuzzy. So I was like, okay, let me upscale it to 1080 or 720. Let me see if that fixes the issue. It doesn't. So
no,
for my problem, honestly, it's my game capture. There's really nothing I can do about it because it's like the only game capture out there, Game Capture HD, that can capture old games like these. So, but also for PS4, Xbox One, and 360 games, whenever you try to game capture through those, that's something I would have to upgrade for because it doesn't capture 60 FPS regardless of what you do. It doesn't matter what you do, it will not capture 60 FPS, which you probably notice in my Mega Man videos because frames are missing. So you see like when Mega Man takes damage, and you can see like
I know exactly
like an orb around him. Yeah, he's not there. It's just the green ball,
or it'll flicker.
Yeah, and he's gone.
I noticed that with some of my Chrono Trigger. So in Chrono Trigger, Chrono gets a lightning attack, and with that, it does this flashing yellow cones coming from the center.
Yeah.
Well, those flashes will like. Of course, during the game, it's fine.
Yeah.
But then when you get to the YouTube side of things, YouTube, it's like seeing like every other flash, and I'm only seeing 2 of the 4 cones spinning around. I did manage to do something. I think for my case, putting it in 60 FPS helped.
Mine just check mark allow 60 FPS, and even that doesn't work.
I got it to be better, but it still has that problem. And I think it has more to do with the fact that it's capturing at a different rate than that's blinking.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that's the case with old games, because they didn't have to worry about that, frames per second. Alright, Big Retro Show, we'll see you later. By the way, did you know
Have a good day, Big Retro Show.
Did you know that he beat COVID just recently? Or I think he's still in recovery, but it was very mild.
Really?
Yeah. So he overcame it. For the most
Dude, that's
part,
amazing. Rock on.
You have a good one. Yeah, watched his. I went on his channel, saw a link. I get some people's notifications every once in a while, so.
I am so far behind on my watch schedule. Like, there were some people I had, like, I checked. I'm like, shit, I didn't subscribe to you. So then I meant to subscribe, like 5 months ago. And I just recently subscribed. Like, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just that behind in my watch schedule because, one, I don't mean to sound petty or anything, but my videos take a long ass time, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, so.
And I had to devote a lot of time into that, but also drawing itself because because despite me making videos all the time, I also draw all the time. And to me, like, oh, excuse me, the beer's kicking in. Okay, so despite me making videos all the time, like, I'm trying to, like, get my art, you know, better. Like, I just recently discovered, like, I can make lineless art if I just color the spaces in, you know. But
I saw that post.
Yeah,
that's how easy it is.
That's how easy it is. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Like, stuff like that. I just search for stuff like that. I search through art tutorials because I just want to get better. Because in general, you're just not gonna get better at art unless you just go for it. It doesn't matter, you know. Like, it doesn't matter what art style you're in. It doesn't matter how good or how bad your art style is. Just go for it. If you want to get better at it, then just go for it. It doesn't matter. If you want to get better, then all that matters is how much you want it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I definitely when I started upping how much I did for my videos, which is pretty recently.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, especially since I started playing around with what I got and everything. Like that Sega Head video took me, God, I was really pushing it because I was up till like 4 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I
know
that.
I was waking up at like 8:30, and like I was like, I gotta get this video out. Because like I wanted to push it out. Because I have no idea at what point he may or may not end up coming back. And when I realized that, I was like, oh shit. And whoop-de-doo.
Here he comes.
How convenient.
He's coming back. Okay, I'm just going to say this right now. Sega Head, if you're watching, you're a blessing. I love you. I'm serious when I say that Sega Head is one of my biggest inspirations on this channel. Like I said before, he is the most charismatic person on this platform. I love his skits. Guy, I roll on the floor laughing from all of his videos. Like, there's no like, this game does this, or you know, the game does this. You know, there's never a dull moment with him. He's always charismatic with every single damn letter, not word, letter.
Oh yeah, I tried to emulate that as much as possible. I remember he really enjoyed it. I sent it to him first thing.
That's where I get most of my humor from, like just trying to like, you know, be funny with like everything I say. Like, have you you noticed some of my videos like this art style and this music just brings the whole meat and cheese and the toasty calzone. Like, who the fuck makes that up? You know, like who says that? But me, I said that.
Yeah.
And fuck you if you have a problem. But you know. I just don't say, oh, the art style is good and the music's good. No, I mix it up. Like, it's like a huge, delicious Bengal sandwich you just eat in the morning, just staring at the sunset. Good shit. That's what the game's like, you know? Mm-hmm. And I just made that up on the top of my head. But...
Oh, yeah.
Just that and, horny humor.
Just that.
Yeah. That's some of my jokes come from, just horny jokes. Yeah. But I have no excuse.
Looking at your channel, it seems like you've had a lot of really good experience with your channel. You've learned a lot. I mean,
just a short amount of time. Yeah, it's only been like a year or two.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back. What was it, like about a year and a half?
I think so. Because I began like in a September ago. It was a September.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I know. To me, right off the hand, despite me offering my help and stuff, aside from not quite understanding the YouTube side of things, like the video side was like, you got this.
Like you went in detail, like, and told me just specifics on things, which helped me too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So give yourself credit where credit is due.
I hate giving myself credit.
Well, you're gonna take it anyway.
I feel pretentious, like saying anything nice about what I do. It's kind of like if you want to like someone's doing a thing, they're like offering, hey, people can be in this thing, you just have to ask, and you're like, I don't want to ask because I don't want to promote myself because I feel like a jerk. And you're like,
I know the feeling, like, just wondering, are you gonna talk about me?
not that I care.
I'm just asking, just the top of my head. I just want to talk to you. You're gonna talk about me?
Yeah, at some point we need
that does come across as a little
pretentious.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that, but it's like you gotta put yourself out there. That's the problem. That's actually one of the problems Sega Head has. He doesn't like having to push himself out there. He feels like a dick.
But here's the thing. Like you
got to.
I know what you're coming from. But yeah, you kind of have to.
And it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. You're gonna feel like a complete jerk about it. But what choice do you have?
That's why
if you're serious about putting yourself out there, you kind of have to, just push yourself into the crowd.
Can we get other people to do this without asking?
I just want to watch from the sidelines how it works.
Ooh, at some point we need to get Caltuna and Danny on one of these podcasts.
I actually know I actually know this person. Who's doing this? She's doing this channel called Let's Kill Some Time.
Oh, I think you shared that. Oh.
Yeah, I did. So she is she's gonna be like a podcaster. She's gonna be talking mostly about like murder cases. It's not like your creepypastas, except this one's more like historical, like actual documentaries. And this other person who I also work with, she's trying to put herself out there too.
Okay.
So if you want, I can introduce them to here. And you can just chat up a storm on SNG.
Yeah, I would definitely see, because I know I delved into creepypasta era and stuff like that. I love creepypasta. I've met Mr. Creepypasta. He's really cool.
I just think the aesthetic of creepypastas are just cool.
Yeah, they are.
And it's basically made, especially it was made in its time. You gotta treasure it.
Well, and actually, that's something I'll probably try and do at some point, is just have live creepypasta reading.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then just maybe talking a bit about it. Because, it is really a thing. Because, do you know what what makes something a creepypasta?
It has to be from either a game or a show.
No.
Mostly.
No, not necessarily. So, the main thing that a creepypasta is the story that goes around the internet meant to scare or unnerve the reader. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that it's like a story that gets passed around all over the place. That's why one of the things is, despite what people may think, that a lot of Edgar Allan Poe gets passed along. A lot of Edgar Allan Poe is kind of unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is considered, in some cases, creepypasta. Same thing with H.P. Lovecraft, Albert Fish's Letter. I've got.
That's like one of your most popular videos.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I got a bunch of people that were like, "This isn't a creepypasta. This really happened." Yeah, that's because a creepypasta isn't contingent on whether it's real or not. And that's actually one of the things that adds to what can make it scary, is if you don't know if it's real or not. I will die on this hill.
You will fight on it. If you're gonna live, you might as well fight it off.
Oh man, well I mean, like I've tried to explain that, and I haven't gotten too much back from that. And I'm like kind of sad because, despite how few arguments I ever get in, I'm like, I kind of want to argue about it. I like arguing.
Wasn't there one comment like saying something about butts?
Oh, damn! I know what you're talking about. It's
you shared it to me. I didn't understand
It was
where it's coming from.
Yeah, just go through my Albert Fish's letter video and just look through the cesspool comments.
Just pin it.
Listen, I may have, but like, I don't, unless there's something really bad, I don't plan on deleting any comments.
Yeah, I don't either, honestly.
Like if it's like telling me I'm a shithead or whatever, they can do whatever they want. It's free speech. But they are, but in that same lane, they are subject to scrutiny. So
yeah,
I might fight back a little. But I mean, yeah, it's all kinds of fun. You know, with my experience in YouTube, like, probably the biggest point where I started having a lot of pride in my channel was when I realized during the You Have Potential video that hopefully one of these days I'm going to redo and make better. Because I really like that. I really like that video, and that's when I realized what I wanted my channel to be centered around, is that central idea of showing people that they have potential.
Yeah.
When I made that, it was one of those things that was like, this is what I want to do. This is one of the things that no one can stop me from doing. Even if I lose my channel, I can still do this.
Yeah.
And that filled me with a lot of pride.
It was nice and wholesome. Like the idea you gave us.
Which
I
one?
still have to animate mine for saying like I have potential. And
Oh, yeah,
you showed me what Sega Head had.
Oh,
yeah. I love that. He had it in his shameless advertising video.
Oh, that was his joke outtakes. That wasn't the whole thing.
Well,
actually, I might be able to get that on screen. But yeah, so that whole thing, and I had to kind of bypass it for now, unfortunately.
oh yeah.
Yeah, just because I couldn't get enough people on board with it yet. And I actually tried to do the same thing with the Sega Head video with like a whole bunch of people saying thank you, Sega Head.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. I just couldn't coordinate enough people at the time, and that made it really hard. And like, have you ever tried going to like a bunch of different people trying to get clips?
Yeah.
It's a nightmare. Like, it's impossible. I got like 6 out of like 30.
I'm not naming names, but you know.
Alright, let's see if I can... okay, so that's that.
Oh my god, that was a nightmare. Oh, like it took forever because I was ready to continue, and this person took forever to respond. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
It took so long.
It's just a few lines. Respond.
Yeah. Hey, now imagine doing that for 30 people.
Oh man, I feel you, man. I feel you.
Like, it's really hard to do, and like, a lot of it is like you can't really blame too many people on that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what's going on with their life. You don't know, all kinds of crap will just blow up, and like, I just can't do this simple thing that should be simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. Well, it might automatically play. I'm not sure. I haven't done this before.
Let's check the tab. Like the tag.
Loop. Close. Okay. Is this regular speed? Okay. It might automatically play. I'm not sure. So, you ready?
All right, let's do it.
It's pretty short.
I'm Sega Head and I have potential.
Is it
I'm Sega Head and I have potential.
Why is there no sound?
I'm Sega Head and I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, for I have potential!
I don't know.
I'm Sega Head and I have...
Media source.
Line.
Potential, you fucking idiot!
No, because that's
I'm
what
Sega Head and I have potential, you fucking idiot.
Lower the volume.
I'm Sega Head and I have potential.
Look at your volume.
I'm Sega Head and I
No,
have
lower
potential.
volume.
I'm Sega Head, and I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, for I have potential! I'm Sega Head, and I have...
Is it playing?
Line.
Why is it
Potential, you fucking idiot!
Why is it?
Oh, wait, I bet it's playing.
I'm
on
Sega
there.
Head, and I have
it's
potential, you fucking idiot.
blasting that.
Oh my life! I'm sorry.
I'm potential, and I have Sega.
Oops.
So it's just been
I'm
playing the whole
Sega
time.
Head, and
I'll show you
have
later.
Potential.
Oh my lord.
Lordy.
Nailed it.
Oh. Yeah, let me just let this play out and then I'll close it. Okay, it's gone.
Oh.
Oh my god. That's that was a thing.
We apologize, y'all. Totally.
Oh, what's going on? Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's still playing on. Oh, it's amazing. Sorry if we blew out your eardrums.
Oh.
Oh man, it's great.
That was fun.
Mhm.
What a fun adventure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But definitely, I think you've done really great on YouTube despite the lack of attention.
I'm still behind 200. Even though I'm gonna be petty and say I don't fucking understand that.
No
But-
one does.
I don't understand.
It's not petty.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but
That's how everyone feels. Like, there's a lot of great YouTubers out there starting out, and they're not getting, like, even Sega Head. Like, he should. So we're at graphite level. If you're under 1,000, you're graphite level YouTuber. Well, Sega Head's definitely one of those people who should already be an opal, which is 1,000 to 10,000, I believe.
yeah.
And everyone's in the same position where they don't know why. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that when they changed their monetization requirements and started changing the site and the algorithms, that went really against us. Because now that we can't monetize, guess what? We're further back in the friggin' algorithms.
Yeah.
And that just murders small channels.
They want to promote like Jimmy Fallon and just regular
Yeah.
TV shows. Like they're trying to push this streaming service, YouTube TV.
Their experience on YouTube was such crap.
Really?
Oh yeah, so you know how like we went through the whole COVID shit, and then they have to make their own videos.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay, so they're still entertaining the way they do their videos, but their production value is just crap.
Oof.
Like, in comparison to what most regular YouTubers that have been doing it for themselves for years, like, they have this, like it's angled from, like, just under the nose, so you just see all those little rocks in there. Like, they're holding it in front of them, but from a downward position.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just, like, seeing it, like, this, like, a perspective from their chest or some shit.
Yeah.
And it's so bad. It's like, the video could be a lot better if you just move your phone about nose level, eye level, instead of, like, chin level and tilted.
It's weird.
Yeah, like, these people that have been on TV for years have been doing it for years.
So they don't do actual editing themselves.
No, because I don't think so. I think one of them does, that I remember seeing. But all the others, I think they send their clips to other people.
Yeah.
I wish we could do that. We don't have that kind of money to pay people to edit our videos.
Hey, make me famous. I already know how to do the editing shit. Just leave it to me.
Yeah, really. No, but I do have to say, the overall YouTube community, to me, is amazing. Because so many people make friends. I mean, look at all the friends we have. We have Big Retro Show. We have The Nerd Layer. We have Sega Head. We have... sorry, I almost said Nerdy Nate. I'm sorry. Geeky Nate.
Geeky Nate.
Lauren Draws. Like, we know so many people now.
Like, I don't know how I got introduced to this circle, circle of cool kids.
I only found this circle because of you.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know how I got into it.
Well, for the most part, I didn't mess with Twitter much. In fact, I think I got my Twitter because you were on Twitter, and I was like, I can network now.
I knew Twitter was like a main source of like all kinds of. Excuse me, but I knew it was like the main source if you're gonna, express
Promote.
yourself, like put yourself out there, get yourself known.
Right.
It's usually Twitter or Instagram mainly if you're gonna like post your stuff, post your artwork. But I'm surprised at how big it is. Like how big, like Twitter is, and like get people like saying like this is confusing. Like, what's confusing about it? You know,
What's confusing about it? You have like what 180 characters to type out.
Right. And but
it's not that it's confusing. It's knowing what to do.
I was surprised by this huge circle of YouTubers. Like, there's just a whole bunch of people. Like you just said just a second ago. I was surprised of like, hey guys, can I talk to y'all? And they're like, yeah, come on over.
Mm-hmm. No, I should show you all all these messages that I got or that I put through, talking to other people. Like, and it's all right. One of the problems that I had early on with Twitter was when I first got on Twitter and I started just mass like following people.
Yeah.
And like it seems like what everyone does. But then I start getting all these automatic messages of, "Hey, check out my channel."
Yeah.
And like at first because you don't know any better, you're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool. Sure, I'll check it out." And then you realize after like the fifth message of doing almost the exact same thing, the exact same formula almost.
See, here's my experience on that. That's cool and fine.
Right.
But have it, personalized, instead of like, thank you for following me. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I mean, that's fine. If you want to...
So it doesn't sound...
I mean, that's totally okay. It's fine.
It's not nearly as pretentious.
But, yeah, it's come across as like a bot. From my experience,
yeah. Well, most of the time it is
bot-ish. And yeah, most of the time it is, because when I actually go to these channels, there's either one channel trailer or nothing at all.
Yeah. Well, you know how like when you'll follow them and within 5 seconds you'll have a message.
And their follow rate on Twitter is like I don't know, like 7,000 to 8,000. Yet their YouTube subscribe count is like 5 or 6.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and
that's when you get like,
Yeah, so that's one of the things where, despite how much it sucks for people trying to actually make it, I do like that they changed the requirements for being a YouTuber, or being monetized as a YouTuber, sorry.
Yeah.
Because it takes down a lot of watered down content for people who aren't actually trying, and it's sad. So, with my experience, I'm sitting here like, listen, if I'm going to actually try for YouTube, I got to hit that marker. Anyone who's not willing to put that much effort in because they want to get paid now isn't going to make it. Like, a lot of that was to stop the one-shot wonder videos, where like it'd be like this, like like on Taj.0 it had.
Yeah, I remember watching that. I remember G4 entirely.
Yeah, those were all like people that like were one-hit wonders videos, like
that. Basically, one talk show about before YouTube even existed. So they basically mass talked about popular videos. Mm-hmm. And ever since YouTube came along, it pretty much did it for us. And obviously, they went down. Mm-hmm. I think G4's main traffic came from popular one-hit wonder videos.
Yeah.
And because Morgan Webb.
Yeah. Morgan Webb.
Oh my god. X-Play, though. It was nice, but they were... Well, should I say, like...
They were biased.
They were extremely biased. Like, oh my... Okay, that's fine and all. Now? That's fine now. But I don't know. Where's the line drawn? What do you think? Because this is a TV show we're talking about. Not many reviewers were out there, so you kind of had to make it... The way I see it, since there's not many out there at all, because the internet's not really a thing, and YouTube's not a thing, you had to be more approachable. They had to be like presentable, and they were extremely biased against anime games, and extremely biased against Sonic games, which.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Sure.
Plus one, I'll give him that. But there were just you can see, like, every time there's, like, a popular game coming out, like Skyrim, or, there were some other popular titles.
Yeah.
Mass Effect. Like, you can automatically tell that they're just going to be, like, not going to go in-depth at all. They're just going to be, like, say, a 5 out of 5,
Yeah, I hate that.
They're not going to go in-depth, but in the games they hate, they go over the itty-bitty crucial details. And that's something I cannot stand.
Like, well, okay, so that's one of the things I really appreciated with Eagle Raptor's Sequelitis, where he gets to a point for, like, the Mega Man X, and he just gushes. I loved that so much because like, look at this, so cool.
It's so detailed, you know. He describes the music. He describes like, oh, I can climb. I can hold the button. I can do a super duper mega charge attack.
You talking about the whole explaining how what game developers see when they're talking about making tutorials.
You know, and basically not holding gamers' hands and letting us actually learn the game. You know,
well,
that's my thing on tutorials, though. I think there's too much hand holding in modern games.
See, and a lot of games today definitely because like. It's like they're geared towards kids who don't know what the fuck to do. And it says exactly that. And I get that. Like, if you walk into most games for, like, PS1, PlayStation 2 for the most part, GameCube, anything on the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, there's little to no tutorial.
I mean, there is some tutorials, and most of the tutorials is in the manuals of the book.
Now, some tutorials are justified, because this game's just complex as fuck. Like anyone who's never played We Love Katamari.
Yeah,
like,
how are you going to know that?
What the hell?
How are you going to know how to control the ball?
Yeah, no, it's like, what the hell? Who knew it was teaching you how to play FPSs?
I mean, FPS is like the most... Okay, the thing about FPS is I'm not shaming on it, because it's a most popular genre for a reason. It's the most simple genre there is.
Is
like,
it really the most popular?
No, the most simple. Sorry. Did I say popular?
Okay.
I meant to say simple. Okay, it's the most simple one you can learn because all the time, the right trigger...
Open?
What?
Are you open for commissions, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, just let me know. Okay, cool.
But, yeah, most of all the time, you're going to know, like, how to control the camera. That's with the thumbstick. And, of course, you know how to move with the other thumbstick. But, you're shooting. Shooting is mostly done with the right trigger. You know?
Uh-huh.
So, out the gate, that makes it like the most simple and most approachable genre. So, I'm not shaming on that. It's popular for a reason. But, and I don't think a shooter, like first-person shooters really need to be that complex. But they can be to make it really cool. Because I think...
there's definitely a balance.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, because... how far can you go with an FPS until it just feels like every other game?
I have no idea because some of the movement you do kind of feels weird, you know? Because it's still in a first-person perspective. Like, I've noticed that in some games like Halo 4. Like, you're not going to, like, when you do when the cutscenes roll and you, like, do flippy floppies or whatever, you like, move around a lot, it's going to look like, okay, what's happening, you know? Like, expects you to feel like you're the one being tugged and pulled and, like, thrown all over the place. But it's like, what? Like, you're not gonna catch that right out the gate.
No.
So, I mean, look, but despite that, I think FPSs can be... I kind of want like a stylized FPS, you know? Like I said, with all the flippy floppies, I want to be able to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, knowing that I initiated, like, this attack. I'm the one who's jumping in the air, like, moon gravity up, you know? Right. And I actually, I'm pretty much describing Doom.
Yeah.
Like, just absolutely crazy, you know? But I just realized, you know, I'm just describing Doom.
Yeah. I don't know. When it comes to FPSs, I get really... Unless they have, like, a theme, I just don't care. Like I don't care about, like, Call of Duty games.
That's why I just got, like, I froze just a second because, like, I was going off of, like, what is going on? Yeah, I'm praising that, you know? But that's my thing. And let me get to that, though. What you said about, like, Call of Duty. There is a lot of... There's a lot of games like that, just regular FPSs, and people still milk it because, like I said, it's the most approachable genre.
Well, I mean, to me, it's like almost all the same game. Like, I have no reason to play the multiplayer much at all.
Right.
I played a little bit of the campaign, but otherwise, it's almost a carbon copy of the rest of the games.
Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Battlefront. You know, it's just, you see FPSs everywhere, and sometimes you just... Like, they focus so much on realism, you just don't really, like, you can't really tell the difference.
That's why when I get to games that are different, like Halo or Borderlands or something like that, like, it's a lot different thematically, and sometimes their system is a bit different. Like, Borderlands has a level-up system. Halo has aliens.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of aliens. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of really good FPS games, but for the most part, I don't care to play them as much. Like, you get me into Metroid Prime, and like, to me, despite still technically being an FPS, that's a whole different game.
Most FPSs have like just a regular M45 in your hand, right? And just a pistol. But games like Metroid Prime, you have like a fucking handgun. You know? What game does that? Besides they decide to make a first-person Mega Man shooter. I mean, yeah, there's that. But who else does like an arm cannon and you exploring space, killing this big ass dragon?
Yeah,
you know?
and it's thematic and it's interesting, and I don't know. I praise Metroid a lot just because like the worlds they make are so amazing, and it's a first-person adventure. That's how I like to describe it.
To focus. I think they focus a little too much at putting you in the perspective of this character, but it doesn't really work that well if that character already has like a personality. Even though I like that.
Like in a lot of the Call of Duty games, you're just a soldier or like.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. I love the stories of Black Ops. I think that one was really engaging. Just the whole game was engaging in general. I loved it, but I think. I don't have too much experience to really validate on this, but I think in my personal opinion, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but they sometimes focus a little too much on putting you into the character.
Yeah.
When I want to know more about this character, you know? Like that's kind of the reason why I like Halo so much. That's my favorite FPS series. It already has like a story out the gate, you know? You're the Master Chief, and you're obviously killing all these aliens. But the story is more than that.
Most people spend most of those games just trying to figure out who the fuck is Master Chief.
And while you were talking about Metroid Prime, who the fuck is Samus?
Yeah,
and what's this world?
A lot of people have no clue. Like if you jump into Metroid Prime, and a lot of people did, they have no clue, and it does drop you into as far as you know at the time. A very blank character.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of people had their minds blown when it came to Metroid and Super Metroid. Because if you die in Super Metroid, you find out, oh, you're a woman in underwear or whatever. If you beat Metroid in under like an hour, which I'm not going to do because I hate the freaking levels. Crap, it's just... vertical hallways. Don't remind me. And if you beat it under an hour, you get to play as Samus in a bikini. But you have no idea until you get to that point in the game. Like you can kind of read the books or whatever, but I've read a bunch of lore and stuff. Now, when you get to Metroid Prime, it opens up the lore entirely, and that's one of the reasons I love those games is because you have a scanner and you get to scan all kinds of stuff. You get to see, oh, this is what the creatures are. This is what the this is what the masses are. Oh, this is what this tree is. And you get to like computers and these like old scripted tablets and crap, and you scan those and you learn the lore of the ancient civilizations and the space pirates and stuff. It's amazing. It adds so much to the game without even saying anything necessarily about Samus.
Yeah. It already engages you already, just right then and there.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because of the mystery itself.
It doesn't make you spend 2 hours just trying to get to the game through cutscenes.
And I especially hate games that, like, expects you to get engaged with, like, a walking sequence. Like, Last of Us does this, God of War does this, the new God of War, and Assassin's Creed does this. I cannot stand it. Like, I get it.
Where you're slowly walking while they're doing dialogue?
I get it. You're trying to expand the story. You're trying to get me to know the characters. But I hate the sequence where all you do is just walk. And I'm just trying to get to the goal. Like, when is this going to end? Yeah, when will you shut up? You know? It's like, I can't stand that. That's just a cheap excuse to, like, really get to know the characters. Yeah.
Like, you couldn't just have, like, a good fleshed out scene or just, you know, done it during, like, a proper scene.
Right. It's lazy. Now it is lazy.
Come after us, game developers.
I will come to you with a knife, bitch.
I mean, it's fun, though. And I mean, see, it's going to be an interesting thing as we grow on YouTube when this stuff gets further out.
Yeah. You're gonna say this episode, right?
Well, it's gonna be on YouTube.
Okay.
It's live streaming. You get to say it on YouTube. My last live stream's still up there.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, this stuff's these things that we can say. It's gonna be interesting, you know, if we actually get approached by developers about how we think about these games. You know, like Jacksepticeye Markiplier, they've played games for the sake of giving positive or feedback to the developers.
Maybe it's just paid bribery.
I'm sure they're paid. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And shame on anyone who like pisses on them for like doing a job to get paid. YouTube doesn't pay out much.
That's the fucking point of them. You know, they have to get money.
Yeah, we need the money.
But sometimes, like bribery, though, on the subject of bribery, that can just feel pretty scummy, in my opinion.
It can, but like, you're either like bribery is like taking something for pushing something under the rug that doesn't need to be pushed under.
Yeah.
Whereas like doing it most of the time when people are taking like sponsorships and stuff, that used to everyone called that selling out.
Okay.
Like that, almost all of that was selling out, and it's not.
You're
like,
pretty much like, you know, that's a part of like, you know, getting out there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsorships and whatnot. People still do it.
Excuse me. Absolutely. All right, I think we're hitting. We're over an hour, I think. Yeah, the hour 11.
Yeah.
I think it's about time to close out the show.
What, you got anything else to say?
I don't know.
I'm speaking as if I'm the host.
Yeah. Hey, Caltuna, you want to help us close out the episode?
Want to help us out?
Yeah, we don't know how to close out the episodes yet. I'm sorry. We are not the professionals you see before you, and I am sorry. You have anything to say to the audience? It's live.
Okay, so
It's all good.
I was trying to watch Whose Line Is It Anyway?
That's a good show.
I turned
That
it
is
off.
good.
I turned it off at the wrong time, and all I heard was, "Come at us, game developers! I will cut you with a knife."
I'll leave it to you to decide
Actually,
who said which.
Actually, JorGoGo and I were just talking about sometime we should have you and Danny on the show at some point.
I'm cool with it.
You're cool with it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're in the show now.
Fuck yeah!
But we're closing it out. So it's been about an hour. We got stuff to do, and they got
Are you
stuff to do.
fucking kidding me? While you've done all this, I've essentially done all the laundry.
Uh,
I've meditated.
uh,
Like, I've done a lot of shit just in the hour alone, because it's like, I don't want to interrupt your stream, man! I don't want to make noise! Like, I get self-conscious.
well, I mean, it's a lot more casual stream. I guess this can help explain the stream a little bit more.
I was just explaining FPSs, but I don't think I did it all too well.
It's whatever. It's a casual stream. Like, this isn't something that I want to be like super critical. It's called shits. It's called S&G, standing for shits and giggles. We're talking for shits and giggles. We're talking about whatever the hell we want. We can talk about movies. We can talk about voter casts or something. I don't know.
Ginger Dead Man 2.
Yeah, oh God. JorGoGo, do you have any suggestions for things we could live stream, or things that might be interesting for your channel, our channel, my channel, whatever?
Okay, repeat that one more time. You basically said, like, what would be good for you, me, and I'm like, what? So repeat that question one more time.
Just get in the bed!
Well, if I might make a recommendation, whenever I get my computer, laptop, whatever, I think it might be a good idea for all of us to play, like, what's that game? There's online, like, a tabletop, and there's card games that go with it. Like, Lord Minion 777 and his friends have been playing it lately, and I fucking love it.
What, like, kind of like Uno, or?
No, it's
or
not
something
Uno.
else?
Is it for the Switch?
It can be done on computer, and I think on Switch as well. It's literally a tabletop, like, you can find, what's the card's game name? The bigger blocker box. Do you know what I'm talking about, D?
I do not.
They've played, Cyanide and Happiness card game on it.
I mean, that'd be fun.
Love Bites is a good card game on it.
Yeah, we could probably do that sometime if we
and
all get
Cards
set up
Against
properly.
Humanity. cards kit. That was the thing.
Yeah, we could play that on live stream. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
Just have this camera, like in case if y'all are just subconscious about being on a camera, like myself. We could just like record on top of this table, and we could just like display our cards.
Oh yeah. Even if we don't use a camera, we can read it.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to.
We want
I
to.
don't want
I have a
die.
card pack.
I don't want to die.
Oh, we have card packs too.
I would probably have more than me though.
I mean, I want to die eventually, but I don't want to die via embarrassment. I don't need the internet knowing what I think half the fucking time. I'm sorry.
But personally, I'm going to be doing a video essay on a movie that's the bane of my existence, but it used to be such a guilty pleasure as a kid growing up, and I'm looking at like, why the fuck did I like this? So I'm going to be doing an video essay on that. Then I'll be making the Game Take episode on Mega Man X5, because I think some Mega Man fans recently found me, and they subscribed to my channel, so I think that's the content they're looking for. So I won't keep them waiting.
Ding.
And then after that, I'm going to be playing Beyond Good and Evil, which is recommended by Retro Wolf, and I can't wait to get into that. One of Ubisoft's hidden gems.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, it'll be Super Metroid. I'm going to be playing Super Metroid.
Have fun with that.
Right? And then I don't know what's happening after that. My list changes on a whim. What about you, Dren? What do you got?
Well, right now, the next thing besides my gameplay and creepypasta, which are the only regular things, I'm gonna be getting another Evil Overlords list, Volume 3, which will feature rules 51 through 100, and it's gonna be a little bit lengthy, longer than the others, but I think they'll still be under 10 minutes. I don't know, but I'll be getting through that. After that, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I have a whole bunch of scripts that I made while I was at work instead of actually working because I was on standby. Don't judge me. Don't judge me for being able to be paid $30 an hour to work on my YouTube channel. Technically. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I want to start doing those scripts that I made, but I really don't know how to approach them because I know I'm probably gonna have to rewrite most of them, and I need to get like a tablet or iPad or something. But I really don't know what to get for what I need it for. So if you guys have any suggestions, if you're watching this stream in post, which would be very much appreciated. I don't know how that works as far as people watching streams in post, but whatever.
We need answers.
Yeah. But yeah,
This is not a drill.
But yeah, I'll probably be trying to tackle one of those. And I'm thinking about so Monday and Friday are my regular uploads for my what I've been calling my channel fodder videos. I can just constantly upload without having to worry about putting in an incredible amount of effort for the product. So I do the gaming videos because I can do them easily and get a product that I like. But these other videos, like the shameless advertising, the Evil Overlords list, and stuff like that, I put a lot more effort into. So those videos, I'm thinking, whenever I get those done, I might try and get them out on the next Wednesday after they're done. Possibly. Do you have any plans?
I do eventually want to go back to my own YouTube channel, which sadly I have put on hiatus for, 3 years now? Sadly, life has not been the best, which Dren can tell you all about. He's been through a lot of it with me. And what he hasn't been through with me, he knows into great detail. So I haven't really had the time or really the energy, because anxiety and depression are a bastard of a mix.
But when you get back on YouTube, what do you plan to do?
Well, I find that creepypasta just, while I love listening to them myself because I do love stories, I don't feel like they're me anymore. I want to possibly do missing people's cases, play scary games, and bring awareness that not all scary things have to be
bad.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people take into account, oh, someone went missing, that's extremely bad. Yes, but you can bring light to it, and you can make it a great thing. Like, there's so many people who hold vigils for these people, and it's brought other people home. Like, there was one case where people thought, oh, one little girl went missing, and it was thought that she had been found. Well, they went to the house where she was said to be held, and it turns out, wasn't the missing little girl. It was another little missing girl who had been missing for over a year.
And that's the kind of content you want to try and get to?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, scary, creepy, but I do want to make sure that people are still comfortable on my channel.
Right,
it's not like,
so you have like content, or like how we split up different sets of content?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, I think that's probably good. What do you think, JorGoGo?
I'm all good.
You're all good?
Yeah.
We're all good?
We're all pretty decent.
Alright.
I appreciate y'all for stopping by, and we'll catch you later.
Alright. This has been the first episode of S&G, standing for Shits and Giggles. New potential show featuring JorGoGo, and at the end, Caltuna. And again, we really appreciate it. So I guess we'll see you later.
And remember, you have potential.
Hell yeah.
I stole your line.
Stay creepy, everyone.
You just start stealing everyone's lines. See you later.
See you later.
Bye.